For today's headlines, PDP Laban risks headless run in 2022 elections. Bongbong considers presidency. Charge me but show proof. Energy more affordable under Duterte. New coronavirus variant predominant in Colombia. Department of Energy lauded for easing Occidental Mindoro power woes. BPO stay put, Megaworld gains. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is September 3, 2021 and here are the latest news of this Friday morning. The ruling Partido Demokratiko Pilipino Lakas ng Bayan is likely to take the risk of fielding a headless slate in the May 9, 2022 elections as it still lacks a presidential candidate, the only one it wants to take the lead. As the party heads into its national convention on September 8 in San Jose del Monte in Bulacan, the PDP Laban remains committed to endorsing Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo as its presidential candidate. The lawmaker, however, remains adamant about the offer despite the PDP Laban's overwhelming endorsement of Go being the presidential partner of President Rodrigo Duterte, who will slide to become his vice presidential partner. Go maintains that his loyalty remains with Duterte and his family, but he expressed disinterest in becoming president, although he is grateful for the PDP Laban's trust and confidence in him. Party President Alfonso Cusi, also the Energy Secretary, however, said Go is the best candidate to tandem with President Duterte. They're the best pair to lead the country forward. If Go will remain firm in his decision not to run, the PDP Laban would wager a slate without a presidential bet as the lawmaker, a longtime special assistant to Duterte, confirmed that the chief executive will not drop his bid to run for the vice presidency even without him as a presidential bet. Go also admitted having offered himself to become Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte's vice presidential running mate when her father, the president, has yet to confirm that he is running for VP under the PDP Laban banner. Another lawmaker, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, also made a similar offer, the young Duterte said. Mayor Duterte also denied her father's claim that Senator Amy Marcos had offered herself to become her VP running mate, saying she only went to Davao City to greet her on her birthday. As he appears to have been repudiated by Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte, earlier his best hope for a presidential partner, former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., is now considering a run for the presidency as his alliance-building efforts seem to have collapsed. Marcos' offer to tandem with Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo, the PDP Laban's presidential nominee who has yet to accept his party draft, had also been derailed by President Rodrigo Duterte's acceptance of a party resolution urging him to run for vice president. They left no room for Marcos, who is a member of the Nacionalista Party and is still the leader of Kilusang Bagong Lipunan, the party founded by his father, former President Ferdinand Marcos, the dictator ousted by the people in 1986. During a forum organized by young Filipino-Chinese entrepreneurs of the Anvil Business Group late Wednesday, Marcos said running for the country's highest position has entered his mind already. He claimed to have received pledges of support from different groups and personalities, even political parties. The former senator asked for sufficient time in coming up with a final and indisputable decision. He also failed to name his vice presidential partner. Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo on Thursday asked his colleagues to take the proper route in the filing of an ethics complaint against him, saying his clean record and conscience will bail him out. Mere threats will not suffice in proving anyone's guilt, he said as he appealed for due process and fairness, as some senators have trained their sights on him on the alleged irregularities in the usage of funds for the government's pandemic response. Go emphasized that for any complaint against him to prosper, the accuser should have a basis and proof of his wrongdoing or disorderly behavior. Senators Richard Gordon and Emmanuel Manny Pacquiao have threatened to file ethics cases against Go. All three lawmakers are likely to run for the presidency on May 9, 2022. Go said that if they want to put him under investigation, then go for it. He respects the institution, but he hopes that fairness and due process will always be upheld in these halls. No charges have yet been filed against him. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders. We are back on Tribune News on Q. In other news, aside from adequate power supply and additional power capacity to meet the country's future energy needs, energy security in the country has been realized under the Duterte administration through the continuously falling electricity prices, Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi said Thursday. The DOE, according to Cusi, remains steadfast in its mission of improving the Filipinos' quality of life by formulating and implementing policies and programs to achieve its energy goals. The Murang Kuryente Act, which eases the burden of power consumers by legislating the use of 208 billion pesos from the Malampaya Fund for the payment of stranded contract costs and debts so that the people will not have to pay additional charges for electricity consumption. Cusi also cited the DOE's extension of the implementation of laws concerning lifeliners or those who do not have the capacity to pay but given by the government with free electricity. It was extended for 30 years from 2021 to 2051. DOE is also proud that under the administration, under its expanded rural electrification program, the household electrification level in these areas have reached 94.5% from 90.7% when the administration assumed office in 2016. Under the DOE, Cusi said the National Power Corporation and National Electrification Administration will continue the electrification of off-grid areas like Oriental Mindoro and Lubang Island to attain 100% of the government's electrification goal. The DOE said it endeavors to balance the provision of reliable and reasonably priced energy services to support the country's inclusive growth and the protection of the environment, committed to pursue national development through the twofold agenda of attaining energy independence and implementing power market reforms, which it affirms in the Philippine Energy Plan. A new coronavirus variant known as Mu, identified first in Colombia in January, is now the country's predominant strain and behind its deadliest pandemic wave yet, a health official said Thursday. The variant was responsible for Colombia's deadly third infection wave between April and June, health official Marcela Mercado told a local radio station. During this period, with about 700 deaths per day, nearly two-thirds of tests from people who died came back positive for the Mu variant. It said the variant has mutations that indicate a risk of resistance to vaccines, and further studies were needed to better understand it. There is widespread concern over the emergence of new variants as infection rates tick up globally, with the highly transmissible Delta variant taking hold, especially among the unvaccinated and in regions where antivirus measures have been relaxed. All viruses, including SARS-CoV-2, which causes COVID-19, mutate over time, and most changes have little or no effect on the properties of the virus. The WHO lists 4 coronavirus variants of concern, including Alpha, present in 193 countries, and Delta in 170. A senior member of the House Committee on Natural Resources on Wednesday heaped praises on the administration's emphasis on ensuring stable power supply across the country. Occidental Mindoro Representative Josephine Nene Ramirez Sato on Wednesday especially gave props to Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi, who has been crucial in funneling in at least 29 megawatts of electricity to improve the energy situation in the lawmakers' Occidental Mindoro district. Always taking the cudgels for the rights of electricity consumers in a province where people usually suffer long outages for 25 years due to rotational brownouts, Sato had been nose down on coordinating with energy regulators and agencies such as the DOE, Energy Regulatory Commission, Occidental Mindoro Electric Cooperative Incorporation, and Occidental Mindoro Consolidated Power Corporation. The Energy Regulatory Commission in 2017 had granted the plant the right to operate. During summer, the power demand currently in Occidental Mindoro is pegged at 27 megawatts and 19 megawatts during rainy season. The power supply provided by Occidental Mindoro Electric Cooperative Incorporation and NPC should be enough to solve the province's energy problems. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
Paturok, paturok, pababakuna ka ba, pababakuna ka ba, pababakuna ka ba, pababakuna ka ba, pababakuna ka ba. Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, pababakuna ka ba, 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 pababakuna ka ba. Paturok, paturok, paturok.
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. Buoyed by the strength and resilience of the office market amid the pandemic, information and technology and business processing outsourcing firms opted to stay in offices. The Andrew Tan-led Megaworld Corporation said Thursday that it had 415,000 square meters of office leases since the pandemic started early last year. Megaworld Chief Strategy Officer Kevin Tan said that around 80% of these leases in the first half of the year were renewals. This means BPO companies opted to stay and held on to their spaces. This also clearly indicates the strength and resilience of the office market within our pioneering townships. According to Megaworld, 60% of lease contracts booked since last year were renewals, and the remaining 40% were new leases, mostly from the IT and BPO sectors. Earlier this year, Megaworld has fully leased its Southwoods office towers inside the 561-hectare Southwood City after an American renewable energy company and a BPO company specializing in customer care solutions took the remaining spaces. In Davao City, 4 levels of the Davao Finance Center inside the 11-hectare Davao Park City have also been leased to one of the largest BPO companies in the country. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, the Department of Tourism, Arada Center, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista, and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning!
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, TribuneNow. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its Community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.